After a ton of waiting, the time is finally here. The Nintendo Switch has arrived. So we're gonna open this thing up, try it out, and let you guys know whether or not it's worth throwing your hard-earned money down for. So let's go ahead and just open this thing up and... Wow, this is actually really tiny. I mean, you see pictures and you get the idea it's supposed to be small. I always kind of had it in my head this would be like a Wii U tablet controller because the screens are the same size, but this is actually a lot smaller. This is really thin too. Like you could fit this in your pocket actually. There's phones that are barely smaller than this. Let's see what else we got. We have the Joy-Cons as well. Now this is the thing I was most worried about because in all the illustrations and despite everyone saying it's not that bad, I had trouble believing because this just doesn't look great to me. As I'm holding these now, these are actually pretty nice. That's actually a lot better feeling than I thought. What about like sideways? Because that's more weird to me. Okay, that's a little, not as much, but this is actually really nice. Now this is the other way you can use the controller is the grip. So the idea is take these and then just, oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Can I get that in there? Nice. So yeah, this is the other way you can use it if you want to use it like a regular controller, and I gotta say already, I actually like this less than when I was using them freehand. These grips are really small and not very comfortable. Yeah, that's better. And last, we're gonna go ahead and skip those cables, no one cares. The dock. Now this is gonna be how you actually use the Switch with your television. You just set this up somewhere. Got two USB ports on the side, and back here is where we have everything else. So USB-C for plugging in power, an additional USB port, and HDMI out, you can hook it up to your TV. Let's go ahead and get this all set up and give it a try. This thing definitely lives up to its namesake, as it's super easy to switch between all of the system's different modes. Whether you want to play games on the big screen TV at home, sit down on the couch and play in handheld mode, or set up the Switch on its little kickstand to play it like a little monitor. Now if you want to have one of these to take around your own house, I am actually giving one away with John from TLD, so make sure to check out the link down below for details. I definitely have enjoyed using the system in handheld mode the most, where the Switch feels like a true powerhouse. While using it on the TV is still a satisfying game experience, but game visuals do take a hit if they aren't true 1080p. I haven't used the Switch in kickstand mode very much. The kickstand propping it up is honestly just not very good. It holds up fine on a flat, hard, and stable surface, but anything otherwise, it just falls over a lot. The portability factor is definitely one of the biggest strengths of this system. The screen and main body is small enough to fit in your pocket if you keep the Joy-Con separate, and while the screen is only 720p, thanks to its small size, gameplay looks fantastic on it. The only downside is its battery life is really bad, lasting only as long as 3 hours if you're doing some serious gaming. Thankfully though, one of the best new features of the Switch over Nintendo's past handhelds is that once the battery gets sufficiently low enough, it'll enter a suspended save state mode. The eShop is just as clean and organized as the main UI, neatly dividing things between recent releases, coming soon, or just searching for specific games, while adding friends, at least right now, has sadly confirmed that we still have to use friend codes, because who doesn't enjoy remembering 12 random numbers to add their friends, instead of just a username? But one thing that is going to throw some people off is that the Switch only comes with an internal hard drive of 32 gigabytes. Now, if you're like me, and you're really stubborn, and you're still buying games physically, this isn't as immediate of a problem until you start buying DLC. But for everyone else, when you're buying stuff digitally, or you want a lot of digital-only games, this is going to fill up really, really fast. There is a built-in way to expand storage really easily via an SDXC card slot hidden underneath the kickstand. The biggest surprise for me though, after actually having spent some time with the Switch, is just how much I prefer using the Joy-Cons as opposed to putting them in the comfort grip. Each Joy-Con rests super comfortably in each hand, and unlike the Wii Remote, which had your hands tethered together, using a pair of Joy-Cons you can just let your hands lie wherever's most comfortable. Meanwhile, the comfort grip is anything but. The handles aren't particularly shaped well unless you have smaller hands, and it detracts from the overall portable strength of the Joy-Cons. I'm also not a very big fan of the Joy-Con wrist straps. Using them for a single Joy-Con does make the shoulder buttons more accessible, but they don't really add anything for someone using both Joy-Cons, and are extremely annoying to remove, especially compared to how satisfyingly easy the Joy-Cons snap into place on the main tablet. As things currently stand, the game library for the Switch is pretty small, which is normal for a launch. But Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild alone makes a pretty compelling argument for why you want to rush out and grab one right away, even when considering it's available on the Wii U as well. How easily adaptable it is to so many different situations is really damn cool. And provided the game library grows with time, including some more strong first-party Nintendo titles, and hopefully just a little bit of third-party love, I think it's safe to say the Switch is worth every penny.